Hey, what's up? It's Coach Justin from Ultimate Baseball Training, and today we're talking about the batting average. Now, a lot of people out there, myself included, believe that the batting average is kind of an overrated statistic. Reason being, we all know that, you can do everything in your power and in your control at the plate. You can square up the ball, you can hit it hard, and you can hit it right at someone and you're out. There's nothing more you could have done. You hit it right on the screws, right? And you're still out. You're still 0 for 1. And so the batting average, it can be overrated. But that being said, I've never met a hitter who their goal is to hit for a low batting average, right? Every single baseball player out there, you want to get a lot of hits and you want it hit for a high average. That's just the truth of the matter, okay? But today I thought it'd be great to talk about some things that are in your control, some mistakes that you want to avoid if you're looking to hit for a high batting average. And I know that you are. And so if you control the things that you can control, if you avoid these mistakes that are all well within your control, not anything external, right? You are going to have a higher likelihood of putting the ball in play, making harder contact, which is going to lead to that higher batting average, all right? So I think you're going to enjoy today's video. Let's jump into it. So the very first mistake that you're going to want to avoid, this one's a tricky one, it's throwing away at bats. And I think there's really two instances where hitters tend to do this. First of all, a lot of hitters will throw away at bats early on in the game. Let's say that your very first at bat up, right? You step in the batter's box, you think you're ready to go, you're excited because it's a beautiful day, you get to play baseball today, right? You feel like you're ready to go both physically and mentally, but quickly you realize that you're not. All right, so you step in and all of a sudden the pitcher winds up and he delivers the first pitch and he pipes a first pitch fastball right over the middle of the plate and you take it for strike one, okay? What I want you to realize about that is that particular pitch right there, that could have been the best pitch that you see all day long. Okay, you might see 20 pitches in a game. That could have been the best pitch that you saw all day long. It might be that pitch. It might be the second pitch. It might be the fourth pitch. It might be the 20th pitch. You don't know when those good crushable pitches are gonna come. Now there's a time and a place for taking a pitch, but I think the majority of the time you need to step in the batter's box, whether it's your very first at bat or your sixth at bat of the day. You need to step in the box and be ready to swing the bat from the moment you step in the box, not after you see a pitch, not after a pitch goes by, not after 2 pitches go by. You got to be ready to go. So I think that's a time when hitters tend to throw away at bats, is their first at bat of the day, they're not truly ready to hit, okay? Another time when hitters, this one's a tricky one, when they throw away at bats, is actually after they've had some success. So here's what I mean by that. You might start off the day with a double, right? Crush a double. Your next at bat, maybe you crush a triple. You start off the game 2 for 2, okay? Maybe you start off the game 3 for 3. You get a base knock your next at bat. So you start off the game 3 for 3, and whether you like it or not, a lot of the times, what starts to creep into your head? A little bit of comfort, right? A little bit of complacency. You kind of tell yourself, well, I would love to get a 4th hit and go 4 for 4 today, but even if I don't, that statement right there, even if I don't get a 4th hit, 3 for 4 is pretty good. I hit 750 for the day. And the moment that you do that, you might step in the batter's box, your 4th at bat, your 5th at bat if you get one, and you might throw those at-bats away because you're not competing those at-bats like you did earlier on in the game, okay? So just try your best. If you want to hit for a high average, you have got to maximize every single at-bat. You've got to take each at-bat as its own thing, its own entity, because you could go 4 for 4 today and 0 for 4 tomorrow, and all of a sudden, you're still hitting for a high average, but you're going to have good days, you're going to have highs, and you're definitely going to have lows. And so when you're doing well, keep riding that wave, right? When you're going 3 for 3, try to go 4 for 4. Keep riding that wave. And vice versa, if you start off the game 0 for 2, don't just throw away your last 2 at-bats of the day because you think, today's just not my day. Better luck tomorrow. No, you've got 2 more at-bats. Do something with them. Don't throw them away. Another mistake you want to avoid is swinging at a pitch you've never seen before. Now, there's going to be instances when you do have to swing at pitches you've never seen before. If you've got 2 strikes on you, even if it's a pitch that kind of fools you and you've never seen it before, it's got different spin on it, but if it's a strike or if it's anywhere close, you got to battle. That's just the way it is. But specifically what I'm talking about is when you're in like a hitter's count, when you're, 2-1, 3-1, a count when you're trying to do some damage, and if the pitcher, if all he's shown so far is, fastball, curveball, changeup, he's thrown every single hitter either a fastball, a curveball, or a changeup, and then all of a sudden you're in a hitter's count and he throws you a knuckleball and it kind of surprises you, don't swing. Don't swing at a pitch that you haven't seen before, okay? That's one of the worst things that you can do, and that's a batting average killer, is swinging at a pitch, especially in a hitter's count, that fools you, that you're not ready for, that you haven't seen before. It's better to take that pitch, live to see another pitch, and then all of a sudden your next at bat, you know, not only can he throw a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup, but now he can throw that knuckleball too. But make sure that you make the pitcher prove that he can throw that knuckleball consistently for strikes. That's another component. If that's just a pitch that he throws once in 100 pitches, you can still kind of eliminate that. But don't swing at a pitch, especially in a hitter's count when you have count leverage, that fools you, that surprises you, that you're not looking for, that you haven't seen before. The next mistake that you want to avoid is swinging at pitches outside the strike zone. And I know this one's kind of like a no-duh and obvious. Obviously, I wouldn't want to swing at balls, right? But it's amazing to watch a lot of hitters, especially when they get antsy, especially when, you know, they have a desire to swing the bat. And that's good, by the way. It's good to be aggressive at the plate, but you want to be patiently aggressive, okay? You don't want to get antsy, and so all of a sudden you start swinging at everything. You start widening the zone for the pitcher. No, that's not what you want to do. You want to force the pitcher to work. Force him to throw good pitches, strikes over the plate, okay? And when you do that, when you have really good plate discipline and pitches that, you know, they might just be a little bit outside, you might still be able to barrel them up, but you take them because they're a ball. When you do that, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a 2-0 count, 2-1, 3-1, you find yourself with count leverage in a hitter's count, guess what you're going to get more of? You're going to get more fastballs, and chances are, because that pitcher's been missing, he's going to bring it even more over the plate. That's a recipe for success as a hitter. That's a recipe for getting fastballs that are the straightest pitch to hit, that are the easiest pitch to hit. Everything's based off of fastball timing, right? So you're going to be on time for the fastball. The more fastball counts that you get yourself in, and the more times that you force the pitcher to actually throw good pitches over the white of the plate, the more success you're going to have as a hitter. So I think that it's worth mentioning. I know that it's a no-duh, right? Obviously, I want to swing at good pitches, but it's something that you have to work on in practice. So in BP, have coach or have dad mix in some borderline pitches or some, you know, straight up balls that you need to work on, you know, not just swing, but you have to work on your plate discipline, taking the bad pitches and only making the pitcher pay for the pitches that he actually works for and throws over the plate. And the last mistake I'll leave you with for today's video is this. The mistake is not understanding yourself as a hitter, what you're good at and what you're not so good at, what areas need improvement, okay? And here's a great example, okay? Let's say that you're not really comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. I mean, sometimes you're gonna have to do it, right? It's just part of the game. You're gonna get to 2 strikes and you have to battle, you have to compete. But let's say that you really prefer to obviously hit in hitters counts and you prefer to force contact early. You don't like hitting with 2 strikes. Well, the best way to not hit with 2 strikes, if you know that that's kind of a weakness of yours, is to not get to 2 strikes in the first place, okay? And that's something that you can control. In order to get to 2 strikes, he threw you 2 hittable pitches over the plate, right? And so take advantage. If you don't like, if that's one of your weaknesses, if you don't like doing that, a great way to improve your batting average is don't get into that situation. Try to force contact early. So that's a great example, but figure out, you know, understand yourself. Figure out what locations you hit best and where you need work, right? And then figure out what pitches you like best and what pitches you can't stand when a pitcher throws. And I'm a firm believer that you've got to work on building up those strengths, continue to improve on your strengths, but you've also got to work on those weaknesses, right? Because especially as you climb up the ladder, really good pitchers and opposing coaches, they're going to try to exploit your weaknesses. And so you can't just leave your weaknesses and say, no, I'll just focus on my strengths. You got to work on building both of them and continuing to just build yourself as a hitter and build yourself as a ball player. But understanding yourself will go a long way. So I hope today's video was helpful for you. If it was, smash that like button for me and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. We've got a ton of videos designed to get you better that are already on the channel. We've got a ton of new baseball videos coming out every single week. So you're gonna wanna subscribe and be sure your notifications are on. And last thing, you'll see a link down in the comment section. I want you to go ahead and click that link and watch the free video. I guarantee it's gonna help you take your hitting to the next level. It's gonna provide you clarity on exactly what you need to focus on during practice to become a more elite hitter. And it's 100% free right now, so go ahead and watch that video. And thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you next time.